Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm gonna do a little bit of a unboxing slash overview of the new Fatshark Bifrost system. This is the new HD system that Fatshark has made available for people to purchase as a beta product. Few people are a bit annoyed about this, having to pay for to test a product, but in all honesty, even though Fatshark appear to be quite a huge company, the amount of money it would cost to develop a product like this and to just give it away to people to test, for them to badmouth it or whatever, I just think the whole process probably moves a lot quicker by them making it public beta. I've done public beta testing myself in the past, and it really does work well. And those people who want to take part and are happy to take part, you know, they don't mind it. Some people have got reservations about it and they don't take part, and that's fine too. They just have to wait longer for the product to be released, so it's no big deal. But I'm lucky enough that I work really hard and haven't got any snotty little kids or a wife to bleed me dry, so I can spend all my money on drone stuff. So I spent some of it on this. I think it cost me a total of 340 quid, and I had to have it shipped over from the United States, so all in all, total cost me about 340 quid. So for that, £340, you get this really nice fancy box, and inside the box you get this piece of foam. It's definitely not Bruce Simpson approved. It's way too thin, not very good quality foam, so sorry about that, Fatshark. But the box is very nice. Inside the box you get, of course, the thing that everybody is complaining about. It's not a module for your goggles. It's in fact a LCD screen with a built-in HD video receiver, and you can see here it's got lots of ventilation and a built-in fan. You've got 4 SMA ports that are required for picking up the HD signal. You've got a little menu navigation nipple and couple of channel selection buttons on the back there. Big open slot there, that's for your included Fatshark 18650 pack. Battery's not included, but I've got some in there, and that really nicely just clips into the back of the screen there to make a complete unit. It's got the little socket on the bottom there for fit into a tripod, or to like a little transmitter mount. Back in the day when I started my first transmitter, I used to fly on a screen instead of goggles, and the screen was attached to the transmitter, so it does feel like I've gone back 4 years in time. But that screen didn't have wasn't 60 FPS HD through HDMI into my goggles, so it's quite a bit different. On the side here you've got power in for your battery, USB-C, which I presume is for some sort of firmware update, but there's no information on that. In fact, there's no information on it at all. There's no instructions, there's no manual online. Yeah, I can't find anything. So this is all just on what I can figure out. HDMI out, obviously that goes to your goggles. On the other side here you've got micro SD card slot, and that's about it for the screen. The camera that it comes with is this Runcam Racer HD. It's currently, you can't actually buy it on the Runcam website, but it is on there. I will put a link in the description so you can go and check out the details on it. Looks like a really good camera actually, and you will be able to use it for analog, not just HD. But it's a micro-sized camera with M12 lens, so it's a lot like the Phoenix, the Oscar Phoenix. I think it's actually got the same lens as it, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a 2.1 but it doesn't say on it. It's definitely wider than a 2.5, but not as wide as a 1.8. So yeah, I'm going to say about 2.1. That's generally what they go for if they're not sure who's going to use it. So yeah, that's the little Runcam HD camera. Really glad it came with that instead of that horrible shit looking white mini one, because I would have really struggled to get that in a quad, especially with a 30 mil stackable board, because most of my quads have actually gone on to 20 by 20. So it's the only thing I found a little bit awkward is that it's going to be, I've got to go back to 30 by 30 stack, but hopefully you know, I think it'll be worth it. So this is the VTX HD VTX, comes with an MMCX connection, which I've just put this axis on there. You've got a little socket there for a joystick control. That's what you use to change camera settings and output power and your channel. From what I can tell so far, you've basically got HQ video, and you've got high quality video mode and a low quality video mode. There's only 4 channels available on the high quality video mode and 6 channels available on low quality mode. Doesn't say what frequency they are, what band they're on. There's no band selection. It's just literally just locked to 4 high quality channels at the moment. No idea what the reason behind that is, or if I'm actually just missing something completely. But from what I can tell in the menu of this and using this, it's only got 4 high quality channels. The difference between high quality and low quality, I've recorded DVR. I mean, there's an obvious difference in the quality of the video. The low quality is really, really bad. And the DVR, all this is recording, and I can't find any, there's no settings for the DVR. All it records in is 1080p, is in 1280 by 1080, so 1080 and 30 frames a second. So there's no real way of me figuring out what it's actually sending to the screen or out of the HDMI, because all the recordings are the same. The bit rate is massively different. On high quality mode, the bit rate at 1080, even at 1080, is up to, I've seen it go up to 30k, but it seems to be different on every file, so I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. It's definitely some sort of trickery going on there. Variable bit rate, I presume, but I'm not 100% sure. Definitely did seem to be lower bit rate when I turned the output power down, so there must be some sort of variable bit rate thing going on there, but maybe that's, you know, to do with the latency. Not 100% sure. So just plug this in. I've got mine wired into little XT30 just for testing. Put the camera in there, and maybe I should have done that first. There we go. You see, when I plug this in, you get a nice little Bifrost startup menu, startup screen, and it automatically scans and locks onto the channel that you last used, which in my case was HD4. Hello. So yeah, so basically you've got on this little joystick here, if I lift this up, you've got 2 buttons. You've got this one on the right that says HD0 underneath. That goes through your channels, and you can see you get that horrible screen of death when you go through them. That changes your channels, and then you change your channels on the back to go to that one. So as I said, HQ mode, there's 4 channels. Oh man, now I'm showing you my janky setup with this bit of wood. So that changes the channels, and if you hold it down, you get to change the output power. So you've got 3 modes for that. 1, 2 and 3. I put mine on 1, and then when you go out of that, it just goes back to being blank, and you can just change your channels again. There's no band, there's no video mode, changing it between 1080 or 720 or anything that is stated on the HD0 manual seems to work with this. So been a bit weirded out by that, but this is just an initial show and tell, shall we say, of the product. The other button on here is a directional nipple controller, which you push to go into the camera settings, which you can see on the screen underneath there. I'll overlay some DVR of the various settings. There's hardly any. You've got white balance, auto, and whatever. You just leave it on auto usually. Picture adjust, you've just got your standard flip the camera in all sorts of directions. Brightness, contrast, sharpness, hue, and color gain. I turned the sharpness up slightly and the color gain up slightly. They're just all personal preference settings. The good thing is that they're just really easy to access, so you can just tweak those depending on lighting conditions or whatever. So good to see that it's got a nice easy control of the camera settings there. So just unplugged that for now. You can see here on the left hand side of the screen is this little four icons. The one on the right, so that corresponds to the joystick on the back. You push it to the right to start and stop the recording, which you can see happens at the top of the screen there. You can also set that to automatic, so as soon as it turns on, it just starts recording automatically. You've also got a little playback thing here, so you can go in and play back your DVR for when you lose your quad or whatever. And then you've got rewind and pause and fast forward and stuff like that. You go through your videos, and yeah, really easy to use little menu there for the playback of your DVR. Then you push up to do your channel searching, and you can see here what I mean by, this is all built in HU 1, 2, 3, 4, LQ 1 to 6. So that really says to me that that's all you get in. There is no bands. This is like the HD band or whatever, and there's 4 HQ ones and 6 LQ ones. Not really sure what that's all about, but I'm sure they've got a good reason, and they'll release more information about that soon. And yeah, I'll obviously make a video on that when they do. Going back to the home screen, the final thing that you can go in from the joystick is to this little menu setting. So you've got movie quality, fine or super fine. So guessing that's some sort of sharpening thing. I have no idea what it does, because the DVRs I recorded looked exactly the same whether I used fine or super fine, and the view, the picture looked exactly the same on the screen and through the goggles, so I didn't really see that doing anything. You've got a little thing there, password. Now I'm still not 100% sure what that's on about, but I noticed that on this little joypad, if you hold down the menu button long enough, a P pops up, and there's 4 options to go through, and they're all set to 0, and you can see here that password is set to 0000. So there seems to be some sort of password connection between the screen and the thing that goes on your quad, the transmitter. So not entirely sure what that's about. You've got format SD card, HDMI format. So this definitely does do something. So doesn't do anything to the DVR, doesn't do anything to what you're seeing on this screen. It's all about the HDMI out to the goggles. So you would think that using Fatshark HDOs like I do, I'd set that to 4:3 because it's a 4:3 screen. But from changing between 16:9 and 4:3, looking through the goggles, the screen, the amount of pixels that I get to see doesn't change at all, but the field of view gets massively bigger with 16:9. So the vertical field of view as well as the horizontal field of view gets a lot bigger. Like I'd say at least 10% more vertical field of view just by running 16:9. So I need to do more testing on that in the field to see if it gives any weird fisheye effect, but I'm quite used to running a 1.8 lens, so I highly doubt that it will. You can see here next up we've got record mode. Like I said earlier, you can set that to manual or auto. I have mine on manual. Channel EXT extension, I presume, on or off, no idea what it does, so I just leave it off. Oh, and it's gone to that, so guessing it's got something to do with that. Well, let's find out on camera what it does. Let's turn it on. Oh shit, okay. Oh. I guess I got to redo the whole video. So there's now 12 HQ high quality channels, is there? How can that be? Okay, so maybe you're not supposed to turn this on because you can still only choose 4 channels on there. Can you still only, and even though it's gone to 8 and it's obviously searching 12. So I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, who knows? I'm not sure what that means. So at least that means that we're not locked to 4 channels because there seems to be a lot more. So maybe they've just done that for now to figure some stuff out. Who the hell knows? It's the only issue with beta testing, and I'm hoping that it does get a little bit better with the information that they put out, but there really doesn't seem to be a like, I've emailed them a couple of times before I got it, asking them about the size of the camera so that I could make a mount for it, and yeah, nobody even got back to me. So no idea what that's all about. Maybe they didn't believe that I had it. Who cares? I mean, it's a fucking camera. Who cares? Whatever. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to get a bit more. Let's talk to you in HD. Maybe I'll be able to get a bit more information from Fatshark, and maybe there's already a firmware update for it. I don't know. But yeah, initial thoughts is that yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's obviously pretty damn easy to set up, and yeah, I'm going to stick it in a quad tomorrow, and yeah, hopefully I'll get a video up tomorrow to show you a bit of my DVR, but yeah, we'll see what the weather does. Alright, take care, bye bye.